Welcome to pattern making class. Today we are going to be working on added fullness for our front bodice. And here you see I have a variety of quarter scale front bodices, a couple of the one dart bodice that has the dart down here at the waist, and then I also have princess seam bodices from one of my prior videos. So you'll need to get these ready for the video. To do your pattern making, you're going to need a pen and a pencil, a little ruler, your paper scissors, some clear plastic tape, and your contrast paper, as well as your bodices. I'm going to start with the princess seam bodice. And I'm going to go ahead and do some slashing, and we are going to add some fullness. But when you're taking a look at them, we can see here that this is the bust mound and that those notches connect there at the bust level. So it's best to add the fullness below the bust level. So let's make sure we stop at that first notch. And you can add fullness to both panels or just one. I'm going to add fullness to my front panel, and I'm going to draw lines perpendicular with the center front, spaced a 1/4 inch apart. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Now if I want to, I can add some fullness over here to the side as well. And now I made that based off the lines based off the center front, and our grain line is right here parallel with that center front. So over here on the princess seam, there's several different ways of putting your grain line in. One can be perpendicular with the waist and coming up, or you can center it with the waist and bring it to the middle of the shoulder or the point of the shoulder. This depends on the fit of the garment and what's going on with the fabric. I'm going to go to the point of the shoulder and to the middle of the waist to place my grain line for this project. And I'm also going to do slashing on the side princess panel. I'm going to draw lines every 1/4 inch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as far as these pieces go, I'm going to leave the top pieces alone. I'm not going to slash them, but we're going to slash from below the bust going down. Okay, so I'm going to label these 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the same over here. I can label them 1 through 5. Or I can label it 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that will help you to put these pieces back together. And take the front, we're going to end up placing it here, and the side front will go over there. And in between all of our slash lines, we're going to put space so that we can gather the fabric back together when we are making a garment in full scale. So I'm going to start by taping down a portion of the center front of this pattern piece. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and slash these pieces, and then I'm going to place them back on in order. And in order to do that, we need to extend our grain line so that we can place the pieces back on with some space in between. Probably make my grain line a little bit longer. There's piece number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and space and go down 1/4 of an inch and mark that. And take my pattern piece and place it down 1/4 inch and also match that grain line. So I spaced it down 1/4. I'm matching that grain line. Let's go down another 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to put on number 3. Spacing that down 1/4 of an inch. And matching that grain line. Another 1/4 inch line. Let's place piece number 4. Matching the 1/4 inch line and the grain line all the way down. Go down another 1/4 of an inch, and we will place our last piece, number 5, matching it to that 1/4 inch line and the grain line. And we have added fullness now to our center front piece. And now we're going to blend the princess seam, and it cuts off a little teeny bit of that corner. And the front should be a straight line. And we still have our notches that go over to this pattern piece. On full scale, we would go ahead and add seam allowance, and this piece here would either have a placket or it would be on the fold with the other piece coming over here. Okay, so we can spread this piece, or like I said, we could keep it the same. Let's go ahead and spread it. I'm going to need a grain line to work with. I'm going to cut off the top portion. Place that on there first. I think I'll bring my grain line up a little bit more. Extend it. There we go. We're going to go ahead and tape that down. And now we're going to cut and separate the lower portion and space that out with 1/4 inch spaces in between. You could draw all the 1/4 inch lines in advance if you'd like to, or you can do them one by one the way I had done it in the first demo with the center front. All right, you go ahead and draw them all and have them all ready. Another way to do it is to cut them all apart, but then I find that you lose them, so I only like to cut them apart one at a time. Gonna tape down number 7. Tape down number 8. Let's get number 9. And 10. And now we've added fullness to the side panel, which we would make shearing here, and shearing, and shearing, and pull it all back together and ruche it. I'm going to blend that side seam from the base of the armhole all the way down to the hem. It's going to come out a little bit. And then here we need to curve, keep this nice little curve going. Come under the bust, leave that curve alone, and we've got our little notches. And this is our center front. Princess panel. This is a bodice, and this is with added fullness. And here on our side front, this is a bodice, and we have our princess panel with added fullness. And there we go. This is Annette Julie, and look forward to you watching my next video for more added fullness.